fresh burgers coming right up!
We cannot wait to serve you!
Have you ever noticed that the funniest episodes of Bob's Burgers aren't always the loudest ones? They don't rely on massive action scenes, crazy plot twists, or over-the-top comedy. Instead, they take ordinary moments and turn them into something surprisingly hilarious. And that's exactly why, after all these years, Bob's Burgers still feels fresh. Welcome back to BurgerVerse. If you're a fan of smart comedy, unforgettable characters, and one of the most wholesome animated families on television, you're in the right place. Today we're taking a closer look at Bob's Burgers Season 16, Episode 11, and talking about what makes this episode so enjoyable, what worked, what surprised me, and why the Belcher family continues to stand out in a world full of animated sitcoms. Let's jump right in. First impressions. The first thing I noticed about this episode is how confident it feels. Bob's Burgers has reached a point where it doesn't need to prove itself anymore. Instead of trying to be louder or crazier than every other animated comedy, the writers simply focus on what they do best: strong character interactions, clever dialogue, and everyday situations that slowly become funnier the longer they play out. That confidence is one of the reasons this show still has such a loyal fan base. Bob Belcher never stops feeling real. Bob continues to be one of the most relatable dads in animation. He's hardworking, he's patient, and even when life doesn't go according to plan, he keeps moving forward. What makes Bob special isn't that he always succeeds, it's that he never gives up. Even small reactions, his expressions, his quiet frustration, or the way he tries to solve problems, create some of the episode's biggest laughs. That's smart comedy. The joke isn't forced. It grows naturally from who Bob is. Why the Belcher family still works. One of my favorite things about this series is that every family member has a unique personality. No one feels like a copy of someone else. Everyone brings something different to the table. Linda brings endless energy. Louise brings confidence and quick thinking. Jean brings unpredictable humor. Tina brings honesty and awkward charm. And Bob holds everything together. When those personalities collide, even a simple conversation becomes entertaining. That's something many sitcoms struggle to achieve. Comedy without trying too hard. One thing this episode reminded me of is that great comedy doesn't always need huge punchlines. Sometimes the funniest moments come from timing. A short pause, a confused expression, an unexpected response. Bob's Burgers has mastered that style. Instead of filling every second with jokes, it lets the characters breathe. And because of that, the humor feels more genuine. Animation that feels comfortable. The animation style may look simple, but that's actually one of its greatest strengths. The bright colors, the cozy restaurant, the familiar neighborhood. Everything creates a world that feels welcoming. The visuals never distract from the characters. Instead, they support them. That balance is one reason the show has such a unique identity. Small details matter. Something I always appreciate is how much attention the writers pay to little details. Background conversations, small facial expressions, tiny visual jokes. These are the kinds of things you might miss the first time you watch. But if you go back and watch again, you'll notice even more. That's the sign of thoughtful writing. Why this episode feels like classic Bob's Burgers. Without giving away every detail, this episode captures everything fans love about the series. It balances comedy with heart. It lets every major character shine. It keeps the pacing relaxed. And it reminds us that everyday life can still be entertaining when it's written well. That's why Bob's Burgers continues to stand apart from so many other animated comedies. Now let's talk about two characters who quietly make almost every Bob's Burgers episode better. Jean and Tina. Jean is one of those characters who can completely change the mood of a scene with just one random comment. His humor feels unpredictable. Sometimes it doesn't even make sense. And that's exactly why it works. The writers never try to explain Jean. They simply let him be himself. That creative freedom makes every appearance feel fresh. Whether he's making up a strange song, saying something completely unexpected, or reacting in the funniest possible way, Jean brings a unique energy that no other character can replace. Tina's quiet brilliance. Then there's Tina. At first glance, Tina may seem like the quietest member of the family, but that's actually her greatest strength. She isn't trying to be funny. She isn't trying to impress anyone. She simply reacts honestly to the world around her. That honesty creates some of the most memorable moments in the entire series. The latest episode reminds us once again why Tina continues to be one of television's most original animated characters. She's awkward, she's kind, she's confident in her own unusual way, and that's exactly what makes her unforgettable. The writing never feels forced. Now let's discuss something that often goes unnoticed: the writing. Great comedy isn't about writing hundreds of jokes. It's about creating believable characters. Bob's Burgers understands this perfectly. Every conversation feels natural. Nobody sounds like they're trying too hard to be funny. Instead, the humor grows naturally from the personalities of the Belcher family. That's one of the biggest reasons the show has lasted for so many years. Small moments matter. One thing I always appreciate is how Bob's Burgers finds comedy inside ordinary situations. Many animated sitcoms depend on giant adventures. Bob's Burgers doesn't. A normal day at the restaurant, a family conversation, a simple misunderstanding. Those small situations slowly become hilarious because of the characters involved. That's incredibly difficult writing, and this latest episode reminds us just how well the writers understand that formula. Animation that never gets old. Let's give some credit to the animation. No, it isn't the most expensive animation on television. It isn't trying to compete with action shows. Instead, it creates a warm, comfortable world that feels instantly familiar. The colors are bright, the backgrounds feel cozy. Every restaurant scene makes you want to grab a cheeseburger, and those simple facial expressions communicate so much emotion without needing extra dialogue. Sometimes less really is more. Why this show is still popular after all these years? Bob's Burgers continues attracting new fans. Why? Because the show understands something many modern comedies forget. People don't only want jokes, they want characters they care about. The Belcher family feels real. They support each other, they argue, they fail, they learn, and then they move forward together. That's what keeps people coming back season after season. Could anything be better? Of course. No episode is perfect. I do think a few moments could have been given a little more time to breathe. Some side characters could have had slightly bigger roles, and a couple of jokes didn't land as strongly as others. But honestly, those are very small complaints. They don't take away from the overall experience. Final rating. So that's my review. Now I want to hear from you. Did you enjoy the latest episode? Which Belcher family member stole the show for you? Was it Bob, Linda, Louise, Jean, or Tina? Leave your thoughts in the comments below because I read as many comments as I can. If you enjoyed this review, please leave a like. Subscribe to BurgerVerse for more Bob's Burgers reviews, character breakdowns, funny moments, rankings, hidden details, and animation content every single week. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, keep smiling and keep enjoying great animation.